What's going on, you guys? This is your boy Dominic, aka the Dark Rider from the Dirty South, coming live and direct from the West Coast. Let's get straight into the topic. Now, the impetus of me doing this video is I saw this cat doing a video. He was talking about, black women, why a lot of black men don't like black women. I also saw this video by this lady who pretty much encourages a lot of black women to consider interracial dating as an option. Her big platform is telling women, hey, look, you don't have to necessarily stick to black men. Now, here's my take on the whole gender war, if you will, issue. My opinion is this. I just think that what you have on both sides is you have people who in many instances are hurt. They're hurt. There's an old saying that says that hurting people hurt people. Now, I can be honest, and when I say this and say that, I've always been attracted to black women. I've tended to be attracted to black women. My complexion, it's just something about chocolate women. I just like chocolate women. Ever since I was young, people can tell you that I always, they say unconsciously a young man likes what his mom is, and my mom is a dark-skinned woman. And my mom, when she was younger, she was like a real beautiful woman, Since I was young, I've always liked short, dark-skinned women with big old booties. I'm gonna just keep it real with you. I do like them, like 5'5" and under, just just everywhere. That's what I've tended to like. Now, whether they like me was a whole nother subject, but I digress. My point is I have been in situations where, honestly, the people who have been the meanest to me, who have been the most vitriolic to me, have been black women. And most of the times, the women that have said the most hurtful comments to me growing up, I remember being called ugly, being called just some of everything growing up. And they were other dark-skinned black women. And I could never understand, why this quote-unquote group of women treated me like this, when I always thought women that looked my complexion were quote-unquote beautiful. And even growing up, some of the girls that showed me attention were women that were shades lighter than me. Things of that nature. Women that would tell me, you're handsome, were lighter than me. Whereas a lot of dark-skinned women were a little bit mean, just sort of angry. And I could never understand it. And when you're young, you tend to explain things away. You get to a point, and I'll be real with you guys. I'll be so real with you. When I was just like, man, screw these black women. I don't have anything to do with them because they've been mean to me. However, as I matured, I started to have a mindset where I was able to look at things from multiple angles. I've never been one of those guys who have said that, I want a woman, like most guys I know, we don't care about weave and stuff. If you wear a weave, long as it looks decent. I mean, if you're walking around looking like your head looking like a hornet's nest, then, that's an issue. But, most guys I know don't worry about makeup and weave. We just want you to look nice and presentable. Some of those other guys are on some whole other stuff, but I digress. But my point is, I was treated very poorly. If anybody was treated poorly by black women, it was your boy right here. And I could never understand it. But as I got older, I grew the ability to be able to look at things from multiple perspectives. And I started to understand that a lot of those same black women that were mean to me did so because they didn't know any better. Now, did that make the hurt of what they did go away? No, but it lessened the sting, so to speak. I remember this instance in 2006, 2007. I ran across this girl. Matter of fact, I was in graduate school. This girl was the most, and to this day, I still remember this girl, one of the most beautiful women I have ever seen in my life. This girl was so bad, so fine, man. I mean, just everything that I ever want. Like, this girl was like my dream woman, man. Like short, just thick, nice ass, just beautiful face, real classy, stuff like that. And you know what? She gave me her number because obviously, I was going, that was one of those things where like, yo, man, if I don't talk to her, like, I'm gay if I don't try to holler at her. You know what I mean? But anyway, I talked to the girl, I get her number, and all of a sudden, she just couldn't do it. And we never could get together. Come to find out later is because she had a lot of major issues with colorism. She was a girl who was dark skinned, but she had a thing for light skinned guys or even white boys because she couldn't see herself as being significant. And what was so funny was a lot of these quote unquote light skinned guys were, here, back up a little bit. She didn't like me because she had the perception of me being a player, which it was so interesting for what I understand. I was not a player much, but the light-skinned guy was a player, and she knew this for a fact, and she ended up getting with this guy. And on and on and on. I just had a lot of issues with darker-skinned women who I liked them. And it's funny because growing up in Arkansas and, being in Louisiana as well, there are major issues with colorism. A lot of dark-skinned girls are looked at as a second option. They're looked at as not as pretty as light-skinned girls, yada, yada, yada. So I always knew that, eventually I should say, I started to understand that when I would interact with other girls that looked like me, in the back of their mind, a lot of them didn't think that they were pretty, as well as in the back of their mind, once you interact with them, they have all this stuff that's going through their mind because of years of programming. And once I got to that point, that's when I was able to release a lot of that hurt and that pain and that unforgiveness that I had towards certain groups of black women. I only had those issues later on, like I said, with darker skinned black women, because darker skinned black women were the ones that were being just mean to me for no reason, just nasty for no reason. And people got to take it from a logical standpoint. I mean, just think about it. If you're growing up and you have a group, like, perfect example. Let me use my brother. Hope he doesn't see the video. Perfect example. Me and my mom, we joked with him recently because he has his first official black girlfriend, and let me say why. And it's not that he never liked black women. It's just because of how he grew up culturally here in Southern California. He grew up listening to rock and roll. He was into that stuff. His friends were multicultural. He always liked black girls, but the black girls that they bust into that school, a lot of them came from the hood and stuff like that. He came up in a pretty good neighborhood. They didn't like him. They thought he was corny. They thought he was square. They thought it was, whatever. And the girls that tended to show him attention were like Filipino girls. He used to get love and attention from Persian women. So naturally, you're going to have an affinity for the group of women that show you love and show you attention. It's not a knock on black women. However, it's just saying you tend to show love to that which is going to show love to you back. And the difference is with me later on in life is I understood that a lot of this stuff is a carefully orchestrated plot to turn a lot of black men against black women and yada, yada, yada. I'm not one of those people that hate black women. I love black women. I've always been attracted to black women. Do I have a desire to marry a black woman? Absolutely. However, if I happen to be the woman of another race and we happen to link up and we happen to get together, then it is what it is. However, what I am saying is, unlike a lot of these other people that do these different things on Facebook, I don't say what I say from a position of pain and from a position of bitterness. I do understand that a lot of people do promote certain causes and the motivation behind it is hurt and pain. And I think that's incredibly unfair to the other people that you give it, because my thing is, if I'm a white woman and I know that you're secretly bitter against black women, then, and that's your motivation for talking to me, then I'm going to feel sort of taken advantage of, because my thing is, I want to know that you're getting with me from a position of wholeness, not from a position of hurt. Like, the black woman don't like me, so let me run over to you. You know, the black men don't like me, so let me run it. Because you just go through the comment section and you'll just feel that pain that emanates from those words that those people type. Well, screw you, black man. I don't want you anymore. I'm going to get with a white man. And you feel that hurt that's coming out through those words. It's like you think to yourself, like, yeah, right. If the right black man came along, that wouldn't go. So my point is, folks, we have to take an assessment for ourselves. We've all been into situations where people have done and said hurtful things. I've been dogged out by quote unquote black women on more than one occasion. But guess what? That lets me know I need to tweak some things. That lets me know that I need to watch the type of black woman that I talk to. Because in many instances, some of those women were hood rats. Some of those women had, not necessarily from the hood, but they had that type of mentality. Does that make sense, ladies and gentlemen? Sometimes, man, we don't want to hold accountability for the decisions that we make. It's easier to do this as opposed to doing this. And that's my take. Now, are a lot of these women dumbfounded by westernization? Yeah, of course. A lot of women have been too westernized or too feminized, the feminist movement. However, there are a great group of women out here. Let me leave you with this. I remember this old black man, this old Jamaican black man told me in Carroll City back in 2003-ish. He said, son, the best fruit is at the top of the tree. In other words, what he was saying is the reason it's the best fruit because you have to work to get it, and it is closest to the sun. It's getting the most nutrients. Most people, son, go for low-hanging fruit, and that is men and women. They do not want to work for anything. They want to go for the first thing. They got a big ass. Excuse my language. They want to go the first thing that has a good job. The best fruit is at the tree, and sometimes you have to work hard to get it. And the problem is with the men and the women, they don't want to work hard. They want everything ready-made. Maybe you may have ran across that man who could be the man of your dreams, but yet you're so focused on what he has at the moment as opposed to seeing, does this man have vision? Maybe she's not the best looking girl, but you think she's cute, but maybe she needs that extra push to get her butt in that gym. But people don't think like that anymore. And that's the reason why we have the issues that we have in the black community and the hurt and the pain. Just look at the comment section of most of these videos. The issue is not, let me convince you that you need to go get a white man. The issue is not, you need to get with a black woman. The issue is, I need to look at myself. And I need to woosah. I need to forgive. Now, just by sheer numbers, a lot of black women do need to date out, because even if every black man in this world was right, in this country, there's not enough black men to go around. That's just reality. My thing is, just do it for the right motives, because it's not only unfair to that other person, but it's unfair to yourself. All right, this is your boy Dominic, aka the Dark Rider from the South, coming live and direct From the best goals. Peace.